Earlier today, I posted a video on Youxing Continent, a brand new anime MMO that just released into a public beta full release, and MRSSTIX, I streamed several hours of it, and ultimately, well, I figured instead of writing up and discussing the game in any real kind of depth, she and I would just sit here and tell you guys what we thought. Easily digestible, very condensed, very blunt. Honestly, okay, I'll start. Graphically, the game is like a dollar store, Walmart, Genshin Impact.
It looks very much so like a mobile game. Like, I look at this and I'm not like, wow, this could be on console, or wow, this was really meant for PC.
Unfortunately, but at the same time, when you compare it to mobile exclusive MMOs, I feel like it's still...
It's okay. It's standard.
Like, I played Revelation Mobile, I played Moonlight Blade Mobile. Those games look terrible. Like, the perspective with which you played out was terrible. You couldn't zoom in further than like 30 feet. All the textures look terrible. At the very least, like, you can discern that this is, you know, ripped from Genshin Impact immediately just by looking at it, and the city looks decent and everything. The character models, I know MRSSTIX has a bit of a different opinion to me. I think they look okay.
No, I hate... Okay, first off, you don't get to create your character. You're stuck with the character you pick. There's no character creation. So you're stuck with this horrible face tattoo. Like, what even is that? And it doesn't even match your leg tattoo, okay? And then there's, like, a cat. There's me, which is the tiny little healer girl, which you see right in front of you right now. Like, I look like everybody else.
Yeah, there's no customization.
But to me, they don't look that good. There's a few NPCs that are cute.
They actually look better than the players themselves.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
It's like they designed the characters, and then they decided much later through the stages of development that they were going to design better looking NPCs, and they just said, you know what, for the characters that are there, fuck it, we're just gonna leave them.
I would give the characters maybe like a 6 out of 10, just because I can't customize it, which makes me a little sad because I just look like everybody else. But
still, comparatively to other mobile MMOs, I think the designs are much better. Cross-platform MMOs, different story, because when you compare them to like Crystal of Outlawn, I think Outlawn's character models and graphics are better.
Oh yeah, a lot better.
In terms of combat, there is autoplay. It's not enabled by default, and you actually have to search for this as a feature.
Or you can just hit Z, actually, and that will turn on auto combat.
Combat, but not auto pathing.
Correct.
Auto pathing is a feature you need to enable through the settings, and that's a whole journey getting there because everything is in Chinese and difficult to actually ascertain the meaning of. But the game, even without autoplay, is actually fairly decent. Like, there's a lot to explore, lots of enemies or treasure chests out in the world. Autoplay basically just takes you the auto pathing from like objective A to objective B. The combat, I think MRSSTIX and I played two different classes. She played the harp like healer.
I'm a healer with shields.
Yeah.
Shields and heals.
Like a support class.
Yes.
Is a more apt description for it. I played a DPS, or I believe it's a DPS, might be a tank, I don't know. The only other thing was like a mage. So I'm assuming this is a DPS, but it also plays as the tank because the other two are squishy, like ranged cloth mages. So you act as the tank and the DPS. I personally think the combat itself is more fluid than any other mobile game I've played. But I think that's because this is a cross-platform game. I think the combat overall is worse than Crystal of Outlawn, worse than Tower of Fantasy, but the impact that the characters have, the melee characters specifically, it registers much better than the character impact or the class impact in any other cross-platform MMO. Not gacha, MMO, because we're tackling this from the perspective of an MMO because this is not a gacha game.
And I will say that as the healer, I felt actually useful to you in the party because I actually healed you up where you did not need to use your potions. Because there are so many games like this, I go in and I literally have a tickle for a heal. No, I can boost you up, full heal, and I can keep us going when we take it on like giant mobs, and I can solo things by myself because I can self-heal.
Which we actually did in the dungeon that we did just before we ended stream. We're taking quite an exorbitant amount of damage. The heals were imperative to our survival. Without them, and admittedly that dungeon did take like 10 whole minutes to down the boss, but that was that showcased I think the cooperative play and how important it is to have more than one person playing. Because in gacha games, they're very solo-centric, but again, since this is not a gacha game, the multiplayer aspect kind of like, it was interwoven really well with the game overall. Because you could be out in the world, you know, we're questing together for like 90% of it. There are small instanced areas, kind of like in Final Fantasy XIV, where you accept a story mission and you just get poofed into an area where no one else exists. But other than that, like, the vast majority of the game is shared with other people, and you run around the enormous world just playing. I think that was fun. Yeah. Probably one of the only fun aspects of the game. But
well, also the world feels pretty full of things to do. Like, there's enemies, and then there's the survival, quote unquote, aspect of this, where you need to collect like wood, rocks, flowers. There's high quality wood and rock out there that you can collect, and then you use this to craft yourself better armor, make yourself food, because as you see the food bar down near his health bar, that actually affects I believe how much you collect when you're out in the open world. You like get double rewards if you go and click a flower if you're at 60% and above in terms of hunger, so you need to make sure you keep yourself well fed. I don't remember the rest of it because I don't remember what it said.
Yeah, 20%, 2%, something something, but it's largely beneficial to feed yourself.
Yes.
Don't starve. Starving is bad for you.
Yep. You even have like this little campsite, which I don't remember how to bring back out, but you can pull out this campsite, which you see right there, where you can do crafting. You can use other people's campsites as well. Like, you can access it.
Well, not here. It doesn't want to let me.
Because I found some and I was able to access it and use their cooking crafting area. Like, you can do minor crafting, but you do most of the major crafting within the city.
I'm not the biggest fan of crafting. I mean, I've been playing MMOs for God knows how long, and I've kind of omitted doing crafting of any kind because I just hate it. I'd rather pay people to make stuff for me rather than craft, and crafting unfortunately does play a large part in this game because you can't skin monsters for leather or for their hides. You can't harvest the herbs, you can't harvest the ore out in the world, and all of that gates progression because a lot of the story missions are go out and like mine this ore and then, you know, come back to the city, wait for several minutes for like shit to smelt and for NPCs to do X, Y, or Z. Crafting is absolutely an integral part of progression. So for someone that hates it as much as I do, like
well, on top of that, when you craft the gear, like as you saw, it's an RNG. They encourage you to craft multiple pieces of gear because some of them will be blue, some of them will be green. Yeah,
well, that's like the almost gacha aspect, because gacha is RNG. You have a chance to successfully pull a character or a piece of gear.
But the RNG aspect has been in MMOs for as long as MMOs have been around.
Yeah, but people, you know, there's some people that are going to immediately assume this is a gacha.
Yeah.
And nowadays, there's a connotation between gacha and RNG.
Yeah.
So I want to, you know, just like state that there is no gacha. It functions like a gacha would, but it is not gacha. Because you farm these materials in-game, and then you have a chance at obtaining the gear at a higher rarity. So it functions like gacha, but it is not actually gacha. There is a mount system in-game, which, you know, gacha games also don't typically tend to have. It's temporary. We haven't found a permanent mount yet, but
I think you can purchase it from the store. I could be wrong. Can you access the store?
No, not without the UI. And the UI bugs out every time you teleport. So that has been really irritating for us while we've been streaming it.
Launch issues, you know. And then on top of that, like, we don't know when the English translation is actually going to come through for this game. We do see on the Steam page it is coming. We just don't know when. Is it going to be successful enough for them to actually invest into doing that? I don't know.
Because the Steam charts show 30 people playing the game. So, I mean, evidently for a new MMO launch, for an anime MMO specifically that looks so much like Genshin Impact.
But there's gotta be more than that playing, so then this must be a shared world with mobile players.
That and the fact that since the game is largely targeting Chinese players, the majority of them probably don't even use Steam.
Correct.
So the majority of players are probably logging in via whatever other client exists in China and are all having fun playing it. Because we've seen so many players, like way more than 30 people.
Oh yeah.
And
I just don't know how to communicate with them because I
They speak
assume we're going to
Chinese.
continue having the shared server. I don't think there will be a dedicated English server, dedicated Spanish server.
Probably not, yeah. There are multiple different servers, but I mean, I don't think that they're gonna, because the game's released globally right now, right? You can play it anywhere in the world. There are no IP restrictions from what I've seen. I mean, from what I've seen, that doesn't mean there aren't. But
Did you notice your sword gets bigger all of a sudden, like when you were spinning?
when I'm attacking, my sword doubled in size, yeah.
But my harp would sometimes just decrease in size and then become giant and then decrease.
Yeah, like
That
right
was
here,
really weird.
it's probably like 3 feet long, and then I get into combat, I use an ability, and then like my sword is now 10 feet long. Like,
But I would also jump in the air and come down and I'd turn into a tiny Polly Pocket. I don't know. But it was just interesting to see.
now we did know that we did do a dungeon. There are dungeons in the game. There is confirmed to be raids in the game. There are like elite monsters out in the world. There are supposed to be various types of PvP. There's supposed to be guild versus guild battles that are coming at some point in the future. Maybe they already exist. I don't know. We didn't get to participate in it. We really, at this juncture, we weren't enjoying it enough to really play beyond what we did.
No, when they took my mount away, I was done.
Yeah, when we realized that the mount was only temporary, we're like, you know what? In retrospect, nah, we're done. We streamed it for 3 hours. I feel like if the game doesn't grip you in 3 hours, then it's not going to grip you at hour 4 or hour 5. And do you really want to, if it doesn't grip you in 3 hours, do you really want to waste the next 30 getting to a point where it still doesn't grip you? No, especially when we have other, better, more enjoyable games to play, like Wuthering Waves.
Or even Crystal of Atlan, because in Crystal of Atlan, you also are crafting your gear, like in this. You go to different areas, collect resources, and then take it back and craft gear.
Yeah, Chris of Outlaw, I think, is superior in every way. I just think the impact of your melee abilities is inferior. That's the only thing. And Chris of Outlaw isn't necessarily as open a world as this is.
No, not at all. It's very small, segmented areas. This is open. So
But at the end of the day, like, I don't think either of us think this is a bad game. I don't think either of us think this is a good game.
it's a game.
Yeah, it's a game. It exists. And if you're interested in playing brightly colored, vibrant, saturated anime games like this, and you're interested in playing MMOs, and you're looking for something new, then this is definitely something that you could try. It's not in English. It will be, eventually.
In theory.
In theory.
I wouldn't say for sure. Promises are just promises.
But this is definitely something you can play, because I mean, different games are fun for different people, and not everyone's gonna like or dislike the same kind of game. So at the end of the day, I think your best bet is just to go try it. If you think it looks good, play it. If you think the combat looked fun, play it. If the world looks enjoyable to you to explore, play it. And that's it. So
Yeah.
not a bad game, but not a good one. At the end of the day, we don't really have time to play games that aren't enjoyable to us.
Yeah. Make good choices, guys.
Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna wanna.